Hello everyone, this is Garrett and this is Painkiller, Battle Out of Hell. And we are about to do level 3, the lab, and we have to finish the level using the bolt gun only. Like I said in the previous video, this is kind of a little bit easier with the double the ammo and ammo boxes tarot card, in my opinion. You can use magic gun as well, but I kind of just prefer the thing we got going on right now where we deal more damage and can't take damage. And yeah, that's just my little opinion, but with magic gun it's definitely doable as well. It's just that with replenish it's a lot easier. So let's get started. And here we are. Now to do this with the bolt gun only, we first have to pick up the bolt gun. This is a new weapon from Battle Out of Hell, and it has the zoom button. I think by default the button is Z, and it gives you the ability to zoom in on things, which is rather useful. It shoots 5 spikes, and the secondary fire shoots a whole bunch of explosive, which is pretty cool. This is probably one of my favorite weapons that was added in Battle Out of Hell. But then again, there were only 2 weapons added in the game, so what are you gonna do? But still though, this is a really good one. There's a bunch of ammo boxes lying all over the place. They are a bit hard to see because they look very similar to the benches, but they are definitely around. And there is also some secondary fire ammo waiting for us over there. It kind of just looks like a bucket, which isn't really very helpful because it's very easy to miss bucket. It kind of just looks like something that looks sort of explosive, but it isn't. But you know, the secondary fire is just a whole bunch of explosions anyway, so it sort of makes sense that it looks like that, but it can be easy to miss. Now we're just gonna be shooting these guys. These guys look pretty cool. They're like just bodies with a circle of blood on their face. It's kind of weird looking. They do have an actual head in that blood, but it's kind of hard to see. I think it's sort of just floating around in the blood. But we're just not gonna worry about that. We're just gonna shoot these people until the game lets us progress ever so slightly further into the level. And until then, we're just going to use our primary fire. The secondary fire is good, but there is a good chance you'll accidentally hit yourself, which is something we might see later on. And one thing that I should point out is that it is possible to go into demon mode and shoot enemies like that, and you will not lose the tarot card because you use the demon mode gun. It actually works quite well as well, but I just prefer doing it like this. Now this room is a bit of an odd one. I'm actually going to move here so enemies spawn, and then I'm just going to run backwards again. The reason why I'm not shooting these barrels is because I've had numerous instances where I started shooting the barrels and then the game just crashed, so I kind of prefer not to hit any barrels here. That one did explode, but fortunately it didn't hit anything else. I'm not sure what causes the crash, but it's crashed enough times for me that I'm just not going to risk it anymore. It's very irritating when it happens, and I'd rather not have that happen again. Just going to ignore the rest of that ammo there because we can't pick it up anyway. And as you can see, we have a lot of ammo for this gun. Like, max ammo for this thing is like 500 stakes and 250 bombs, something like that. Now, you can't go up here. We're actually going to go over here first because I want to kill a bunch of enemies. And we might as well show off the secondary fire because this is as good a place as any to use it, really. And as you can see, it does a lot of damage. It actually works quite well in taking care of stuff. And there's an armor over here and a bunch of ammo, which we cannot use because we'd lose the tarot card, and that's unfortunate. So we're not going to do that, and instead we're going to go up here in the end after all. Now I'm actually going to go to this wall because we can jump down and go all the way back to the start, because that's obviously where we're going to go. Because there is a holy item over here, which is secret number 1, and there is a health item over there, which is secret number 2. Not really sure whether they're 2 separate secrets, but they are, and I'm not going to question it. There probably are other ways of getting those 2 secrets, but I think this is probably the easiest way of getting it. And the other ways would basically revolve around fiddling around with the trees and stuff and trying to get a good jump off of those things. It just is a bit hastily. I think it's possible, but it's just not as quick, so yeah. I'm just gonna grab it like I did, get some extra ammo. And we're already at max for our primary fire. And moving closer to that door, spawns a whole bunch of enemies behind us. But fortunately, we have a long-range weapon, which, at this particular moment in time, very helpful. We don't really have anything else right now which could do the job as sufficiently. And, you know, we are not allowed to use anything else either. And there is a second enemy type, which is those nurse-seeming people, who, if they stab you, that happens. It's kind of a nuisance. They have a reasonable amount of health, and that's really all there is to these like enemies, so it's they're not really very scary. The enemies in this level, they're really not a problem at all, and using this weapon just for the entire level seems more to be just an excuse to get to use the new stuff than it actually is as a challenge. So you probably won't have any problems getting through this level at all. Even on Abyss difficulty, I would argue there's really only one room, which is kind of tricky. Also, there's usually actually an enemy in here, and sometimes you get to kill them using the explosives in this room. But I think someone already set off the explosives because they're no longer here. And there's a whole bunch of blood here, so I'm guessing he already died. Also, there's some ammo up here. Again, it might be a little bit hard to see because they're boxes we've not seen before. And this is also ammo. 50 units. It's actually 100 because we have the double ammo, and that is quite lovely. Is this actually also an ammo power-up? No, it might be, actually. No, actually, it's probably the flamethrower, actually, thinking about it. But anyway, we're just going to move on, not worry about all of that stuff. Pretty much, like I said before, though, like, I think there's only one room in this entire level which is kind of tricky. Even on Nightmare, actually, if you don't have the double ammo thing, because you'll probably end up using all of your ammo if you don't have the double ammo thing equipped. Also, I'm just going to use my tarot cards here to speed this place up a bit. There's a new enemy type, which is these guys with the axes. They're pretty much the same as all the other enemies we've faced so far, to be honest. They just look a little bit different. And using that double damage, or quadruple damage, I suppose, this is just a little bit quicker when it comes to taking care of all these guys. And honestly, I kind of just want to get through this level as quickly as possible, because it's just honestly so not difficult at any real point in time that nothing is going to go wrong. Like, I'd be genuinely surprised if there's anything at all that's going to kill us. So, also, after killing those guys, it spawns a whole bunch of nurses back in this room. But, again, easily disposed of with our lovely tarot cards and secondary fire. Even more health, so our health is pretty much maxed out at this point unless we start collecting souls, but I probably won't even bother with that. Even more ammo here. Like, it probably, even without the double ammo power-up, you'll probably have quite a lot of ammo for this entire stage if you just are a little bit careful, because there's just 3 boxes in it we can't pick up at all, so you should probably be fine. Jumping down a bunch of planks will probably take damage here. Oh, he didn't, actually. And there's a double, well, more damage power-up, which you might want to get. One thing you gotta be careful of in this room, this is, by the way, the kind of tricky room, because for a fairly long period of time, we're not gonna get any extra ammo anymore. And there's actually quite a lot of enemies. But one thing you have to be sure of is to not stand in the middle when you've killed a certain amount of enemies. I'm not exactly sure what amount of enemies it is, but after a while they're going to throw a whole bunch of exploding barrels in the middle, and they pretty much explode instantly, and it's very easy to die from that. And it would be kind of a shame, especially if you're playing on Abyss, because you'd have to do this entire room all over again. And it does take a while between checkpoints, basically, so it would be kind of a shame. But I'm already going to stand a little bit further back, because there's not that many enemies spawning at this point anymore. Pretty much all of them are going to be spawning in the middle until a certain point, which is, well, it makes it pretty easy because you just sort of aim at the middle. Every now and then you can use your secondary fire and just sort of shoot in that general direction, and you'll probably end up killing everyone, because they're all just sort of running in that direction. It might actually be a little bit easier if you stand on the other side, just because the enemies don't run away from you. But at the same time, we did just get a long-range weapon, so it doesn't even matter that they're running away from us. Like, they're not even trying to shoot us. There we go. That's the barrels I was talking about. And then a whole bunch of enemies jump down as well. And, yeah, those barrels particularly, they do a lot of damage. They do pretty much the same amount of damage as any other exploding barrel in Painkiller, which is a crazy amount and will probably instantly kill you, and that would be kind of sad. Again, if you have Soul Catcher, you can probably pick up enough souls here to go into demon mode. But I'm just being a little bit lazy about it, and I don't really feel like jumping from soul to soul anyway. And after killing all these guys, that checkpoint opens and this thing can be destroyed, allowing us to use this jump pad underneath it to go to the top floor, or well, the second floor I suppose, where there's a whole bunch of people waiting for us, trying to kill us with their needles. Not very nice, but we'll allow it because their range is kind of ridiculous. And as you can see, our ammo has been half, like more than half at this point. We were at like 500 or something, and we're already at 215, and that's kind of why you have to be a little bit careful when it comes to ammo if you don't have the double ammo card. You have to basically be just a little bit more savvy with the secondary fire if you're going for the tarot card. because otherwise you might miss, like you might just not have ammo anymore, and that would just be sad, because there is more ammo like at the top of this floor, but we have to kill all the enemies here first before we can reach that. And first of all, we're gonna kill all these guys here. They can't even hit us, I don't think, because I'm not even sure what attacks they have. Like, I genuinely don't even remember. I think this is the only level where they actually show up and they just never really do anything. But as long as you just stay far away from them, then they don't really have a chance. And killing that last one sets that thing on fire, which allows it to be destroyed. But before we're actually gonna continue, we are going to grab this holy item, which is the third and last secret of this level. And we jump down to use the jump pad once again to get on that side of this circle. I don't think you can actually reach that otherwise, unless you do some fancy jumps from that thing maybe, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Either way, this works, and either way, we're just going to go up this pipe, because that particular jump pad doesn't send you very high, and there's some armor up there. And this gun, which we're again not going to be able to use, but at least we have it now, and in case you're worried about never picking up that gun, now we finally have a chance to use it. Sort of. And I'm going to use my tarot cards again to basically speed up the process, because there's a whole bunch of enemies here, and this would work basically without those tarot cards. It's just a little bit safer with them, because of the fact that we can't take damage, and also this is a little bit quicker, because otherwise we'd have to climb all the way down. And we're in this like watery pipe area thing, and as we move forward, the door starts closing between us, and after a while it opens again with a whole bunch of these weird dog fish things. I'm not really sure what they are, but basically you have to run away. I don't think you can actually kill those with any of your weapons right now, so you're better off just running to the hills, which in this case is in this direction. And you can pretty much ignore all of the barrels as well. You can pretty easily just jump past all of these barrels, and I think they sort of get blocked by them as well, but they do just keep moving forward. So just keep running, and after a while we should see a ladder going up along with that thing. It's coming out of the water. It's not a very nice thing at all. And we're just going to completely ignore it and climb this thing, because we don't want to get hit by the enemies. And we're just sort of going to look at those fish trying to climb this ladder, and then everything explodes and we win. I'm not really sure what that's all about, but it just sort of happens. And there used to be a plank sort of over here, but now that it's gone, we can climb all the way up, and it takes us all the way back to the start of the stage. So if you did miss some secret areas, I believe all the doors should be open, and you could just go wherever you want. But we're just going to the exit, because we already picked up everything we wanted here, and we can just happily leave. Apparently we missed 8 enemies somewhere along the line, but I'm not exactly sure where those would be. And it unlocked a tarot card. This scepter. All enemies are weak. So, Battle Out of Hell has some tarot cards. Most of them have really vague descriptions about what they do. And this one, all enemies are weak. It's probably the biggest understatement when it comes to just what a tarot card does exactly. It is a golden tarot card, and after the next level, we're basically going to be using this one to replace Rage for pretty much until the rest, like, until the end of the game. Like, it's... that card is just completely ridiculous in that Rage makes you deal extra damage, but it still depends on what the weapon is that you're using, I guess. Whereas the Scepter makes every enemy except for bosses pretty much have 1 health. And it's silly. And that's why we're going to be using it a lot. It's a shame it's not a silver card, because that would have just made everything even more hilarious. But as a gold card, you can just use it every now and then, and you can just clear the entire room with just a machine gun or something. Because tanks, no matter what it is, just everything dies in 1 shot. It's absolutely ridiculous. But we're going to use that after the next level, which is Pentagon, because that's actually going to be a boss battle, and I don't think that boss is actually affected by the Scepter. But that is something I'm going to leave for the next video. So I hope you enjoyed it so far, and the next time we play, we are going to do Battle Out of Hell Level 4, the Pentagon. Bye-bye.